Hi and welcome to another freevolous webisode. Today I have some new freevolous takes for you, which is the series where I go through new makeup releases and announcements, and I sort of give my opinion on things that just caught my eye for one reason or another. This is going to be a long one as usual. I can't do this every week or every 2 weeks. I do this whenever I can, so things pile up and I still want to talk about them. Also, although some things have been already released, we now have, influencers reviews and content creators reviews, so we can have a bit more of hindsight or on if the products are really worth putting on your wish list or not. That's at least how I work. So let's jump into it. Let's start with something that really caught my eye, and then I thought, what a missed opportunity. So a couple of months ago, maybe the day after I did my other Freevolous Takes episode, Louboutin Beauty released a gorgeous nude color packaging, limited edition for their face powder and cushion foundation. I don't know if these are refillable. If they are not, this is a hugely missed opportunity. I think this should be the way to go, especially for luxury brands. I think refillables should be something that every brand should incorporate in their collections, especially with their very good quality products and things that people repurchase a lot, like powders and foundations and even lipsticks. They should go for refillable when possible, but luxury brands and high-end brands have the opportunity of create these really jewel-like cases and compacts and make them really precious. And then you can add a component of collectability and make some limited edition ones throughout the years, or some special collections and anniversary collections. But you have your beautiful bejeweled compact that you refill with, if they are really good products, with your excellent powder, your excellent foundation, and you just carry it around and you keep on repurchasing the product because you love the packaging and you want to keep on using the product, and it feels so less wasteful, and at the same time it feels luxurious. So if this isn't refillable, which I have the inkling that it won't be refillable, this is just a missed opportunity, and I think brands should start looking into this kind of approach, which is something that we lost, and it should come back again in a different way, Then Javon Ford, which if you don't follow his content, I absolutely advise you to, because he's one of those chemists and product developers that really has a lot of knowledge about the industry and formulations and all of that, and he helps to debunk those myths about your product and formulation and all of that. I love his no frills kind of videos, and he's very knowledgeable, and he came up with a cheek tint or cheek stain, and this caught my eye. The color was Georgia Peach. This came out right when I was starting a huge project, so I didn't have the time to sit and wait for the launch date and the launch time. I didn't even know if he would ship, if he would ship internationally, so I missed that boat. But I was really curious because it looks like a very balmy, almost, danessamyricksbeauty sort of balm formula, but it says it's a stain. I'm very curious. I know that he has recently announced that he's going to launch another shade, and he has since adjusted some things in the formula upon, having some customer feedback. So I love to see makeup artists coming out with their own brands and seeing their artistry and the way they work with makeup in the products that they come out with, but at the same time having cosmetic formulators coming out with these products. It's another approach that I'm really interested in, so that would be very interesting. If it's a glossy stain for your cheeks where the glossiness kind of fades away but it stays stained and it's easy to blend out, which is a bit difficult to fathom for a blush stain, this would be beautiful. it looks like a cheek balm, you know? I don't know. It looks really interesting. And the new color is really beautiful. So I'm interested. Now, The Ordinary is coming out, or has come out, with a retinol emulsion, the 0.2% emulsion, and it's their highest strength retinoid formula with stabilized retinaldehyde for advanced age support. If you don't know, retinaldehyde is one of the retinol derivatives, and vitamin A derivatives, I should say. And for me, personally, I get all the beautiful results that a retinol or even tretinoin could give me without any irritation. Retinol is my favorite ingredient for, you know, slow aging. Of course, you will only notice absolute differences if you slather product on one half of your face and leave the other one with nothing. This is with any kind of product, especially these that are meant to prevent further, you know, wear and tear on your face, so you don't see what it would be if it wasn't there. And this doesn't actually reverse any sort of huge signs of aging. You can notice a bit more plumpness, firmness on the skin, but it's not going to be a huge difference. This is not cosmetic surgery or anything, or fillers. So expectations managed. But it is my favorite formula, or my favorite ingredient for, you know, slow aging, whatever you want to call it. And my favorite one is from Saatchi, but that one is hugely expensive. Another one basically as expensive is the Medicate Retinol, which was my first one. And the most affordable one that I absolutely adore is A-Game by Geek and Gorgeous. That's incredible and super affordable. I'm not going to buy this one from The Ordinary because they belong to Estee Lauder, and I'm kind of like not into it at the moment. But I'm curious if this would be a good formula. Mouth. Now, I don't know why I kept this in here, but you know, sometimes the brain has its moments and then it files them away and you can never access your way of thinking at the time. But basically Isamaya came out with another, they call it the Sheer Metallic Balm. It's a lipstick and it's metallic. And packaging aside, I'm not a prude, I don't care, but I don't think we need any more iconography regarding this specific subject. But it's fine. If you like it, you like it. It's hefty. I tried it on Selfridges. I picked it up on Selfridges. It's really well made. But metallic lips, it's the thing I think I wanted to talk about. It's something that I do not like. It's not one of those things, one of those trends that grew on me and I started appreciating. It's really something that I do not like except for blue metallic lips. Those I can get behind. Everything else, I think it's just, they make your lips look more lined. Metallic things enhance texture, so it's not for me. One of the releases from Pat McGrath Labs was their, Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder in pink. And then we saw people reviewing them and it wasn't actually pink. It was just the same on the skin as the translucent light color one. So it didn't provide any kind of color correction. I don't know where they wanted to go with this, but they missed the mark, really, because if you buy something pink, it would be for color correction. And if it doesn't provide anything to your eyes, to your under eyes, unless maybe if you're really pale, but I've seen very pale content creators reviewing this and saying this is just the same as the white one. So I don't know, I think they missed the mark. Don't forget that Pat McGrath, as far as I know, has nothing to do with the brand or doesn't have much to do with the brand. She doesn't make the creative decisions anymore. I don't know why someone would create a brand with their own name on it and then very quickly let it go to some board of directors who decide things on your behalf and trash your brand and your artistry. But I think that's what's been happening with Pat McGrath. They've been having so many misses that new Star Wars, I don't have it here, but the more recent Star Wars re-release of the same products that made everybody so angry last year because it was basic packaging with stickers, but now you have a case with Darth Vader's head. What? I love the case, don't get me wrong. If I were a Star Wars fan, I would really want to get that, but the makeup itself, it was really sad. And then Rare Beauty came out with their Soft Pinch Luminous Powder Blushes. I've seen people review this. Again, it seems like they're very metallic. As a luminous blush, it won't work for most people unless you don't have any texture on your cheeks, or you don't mind emphasizing texture on your cheeks, and also if you like a very metallic gleam on your cheeks, which is something that maybe you're going back to. I don't miss it, to be honest. I like the glow and a moisturized glow and the water-like glow, not as much a particled metallic finish. But yeah, most people have been managing to use it as a blush topper, very lightly applied on the cheeks. Listen, until now, nothing from Rare Beauty has called my name, but I'm one of the very few people who can say that, so take from that what you will, but I haven't seen glowing reviews of this product. It's always with a caveat, if you know what I mean. Danessamyricksbeauty came out with new shades of her Color Fix liquid eyeshadows. They are absolutely an amazing formula. They give you some time to work with, but they can be buildable and be very opaque. They can be blended out very easily. You can mix the colors to create your own custom color. And when they set, they don't budge, and they can even endure some gloss on top of it without creasing, which is really weird, but interesting. I really love her formula. I have formulas from other brands. I still think it's the best one, and I think they did a good job of updating sort of their line, because they had many, they had many nudes and loads of very primary and very intense colors, and I think these more approachable or wearable colors that are still very colorful look absolutely amazing. I love the purple, the pink, the red, the yellow, the deep burgundy, chocolatey burgundy color, even the peach. The blue is amazing, and you can use it on your eyes, on your cheeks. You can mix it with their products and create, custom shades. You can use it on your lips. It's so good. So nice, so nice. Next up, this one called My Eye, because Purito came out with 2 new sunscreens. The green one is, your classic sunscreen, but the other one says Daily Soft Touch Sunscreen for our active beauties who are always on the go. The 10-hour long lasting sun protection is perfect, yada, yada, yada. And I was kind of like, 10-hour lasting sun protection? There is no such thing. You can make a sunscreen that is very long wearing and very sturdy and stays on your face for a longer period of time and is very waterproof and sweat proof and all those things. But there's still human error. You can still touch your face and remove it, and I don't know. I must confess I ordered it from YesStyle because I haven't seen it. I've seen the new green one in London in a K-beauty store, but the orange one wasn't there. I don't think maybe it's allowed in, the UK doesn't have to abide by EU rules anymore, but it wasn't there. So I don't know. Next up, Hourglass and other brands came out with pressed powders, which I personally, as an oily girl, really appreciate. Again, they missed the mark with the colors. We need at least 3 more darker shades. If you are giving us 3 light shades, you need 3 more dark shades. And then there's a medium one they call translucent tan in the middle there, but you need 3 darker shades, sweetie. I'm curious about this formula. It's very expensive. Hourglass has become so expensive. It says it's weightless, shine controlling powder, allows you to set, perfect, and touch up on the go. Non-drying formula, instantly absorbs excess oil while minimizing and blurring the appearance of pores without settling into fine lines. That's a huge claim. Infused with microspherical powders like the Vanish Concealer, which I haven't tried, and it's $48, which means in euros it will be about 58 because they always mark it up stupidly when they're selling to Europe. But anyway, I'm curious about this. The only people I've seen trying this powder, I think they were all kind of drier skinned people who don't mind a matte finish, but still on them this may feel a bit too heavy, and they said that. And also it didn't give them the airbrushed finish that they were hoping for. When having, you know, dry skin, you may have a bit more texture in that sense. I don't know, I'm curious, but it would be one for me to try in store, and we don't have it in store. And when I was in London, it wasn't there. I don't think so. Danessamyrics then came with the Yummy Skin Lowlighters. They look really nice, but I haven't seen great reviews of this one. I have the blusher, one of the blushes. I ended up finding a store that had some discounts on Danessamyrics, which is one of those brands that has a huge markup in Europe. So I have to wait for sales here. And I got the balm blush, and the Yummy Skin Balm Blush, and the primer, this one for oily skin, the drops. And I had to buy them on sale. If you want a review on those, let me know in the comments below. But these haven't been having great reviews. I don't think it's meant to give you soft focus, but at and blurring effect, but at the same time being light reflecting. And from what I've seen, it looks a bit dull as a highlighter, but still a bit too textured as, you know, a blurring product. So I don't know. Again, I would have to see it in store. There is a store here in Portugal, in Lisbon at least, that has this brand, but it's so out of my way. It looks beautiful in the shots, in their promo shots, but you know how it goes. I'm really interested in that, the pinky one, of course, but I don't know. Next up, another one from Pat McGrath. This one I think is a good launch. It's an expansion on their Divine Cream blushes. Legendary Glow Color Balm Total 2. The names. Who do they think whenever we pick them up, we mention them by the full name? We're going to say the blush sticks. And that's it. The new blush sticks by Pat McGrath. They are $29 each. Radiant buildable color featuring enriching ingredients like shea butter, squalane, and passion fruit extracts. Soft and subtle. Nourishing formula that glides on for a dewy finish and a healthy glow. Perfect for both lips and cheeks, so it's a multitasking product. This looks really nice, and using that kind of Patrick Tar style of application where you apply, you know, a colored balmy blush on top of powder, if it's a formula made for that, it's going to make your cheeks pop and look super dewy and not pick up the powder underneath. And the colors look absolutely amazing, but then there you have it. There's a couple of colors here that look like I would want them because they're greyish, cool toned. And then if I look at the swatches, everything looks very peach. I don't know. If I find it on sale, because Pat McGrath has loads of sales, this is one of the products that I would like to try, you know? Then Auden's Eye came out with another shade expansion to their Jewel Shine collection, and they have released loads of singles. So they had 18 single multi-chromes, 12 single shimmers, 12 single mattes. Listen, I've seen swatches of these. These look absolutely stunning. All three formulas. I'm craving for a matte red, and some of these multi-chromes also look so beautiful. These really sing to me. I haven't bought any of them, but I'm so tempted. But there's so much of them that I get confused, especially with the multi-chromes, because some of them are very similar. On camera, I forget which one I wanted out of 2 or 3 that look similar. So too much at one time, but they look so beautiful and the mattes look so rich, and I appreciate that they have swatches on both light and dark skins. So hooray, Auden's Eye. Geek and Gorgeous skincare. Power Peptides is here. A powerful blend of 4 super potent collagen and extracellular matrix boosting peptide technologies in a gorgeous milky formula to firm your skin and give it bounce back. So this looks amazing. It has 4 types of peptides. One of them is encapsulated. These, at least Matrixyl, has been very well rated in the beauty industry and has some science backing it. And yeah, this is a good addition because these power peptides, or this formula, can be used, because I've seen on their website, you can use it before your vitamin C, you can use it before your retinol. So it's not one of those peptide formulas that is very finicky, that cannot be used with acids, with vitamin C, with retinoids. And you're kind of like, well, today has to be just, you know, my peptide on my face and some moisturizer, because it won't allow anything else. This one can be used in conjunction or layered under other products, which I really appreciate. They have a graphic on their Instagram showing the different combinations of this product with others to create your routine. It's one of those things that, if it's not a heavy product, would be a great addition to any routine, I'd say. I just wish they had added some ceramides to it. Maybe it would make it a bit too heavy. That's why they have the ceramide moisturizer. But anyway, it looks amazing, and it's Geek and Gorgeous, which is a brand of close to my heart. I really like them. Then danessamyricksbeauty is coming with a huge brush collection, which, if you divide it by the amount of brushes, it's not that expensive, although it's still expensive. It's going to be, for instance, the 10-piece set, which is the starter edition, is £150 or $175, which means it's £15 per brush. And these seem to be very high quality brushes. So it's very, it's tempting. I love brush. I'm in a brush mood and a brush kick. Now I'd love to try some of these brushes. They have the sets, and then you have you can pick individuals, I think. So it's a really nice launch. I don't know if this is limited edition or not. They don't mention it. It's a collab with James Malloy, the makeup artist. So I don't know. This seems heavenly. All these brushes look so fluffy and nice. Delightful. Then danessamyricksbeauty is pandering to the Pride month. Listen, all for the Pride support, LGBTQIA plus support, all for it. But danessamyricksbeauty is one of those brands that doesn't disclose how much of the revenue of the products, of the Pride products, is being donated to, you know, the cause. So it's kind of like, are you making money off of LGBTQIA plus people, or are you giving back? So it's a weird thing. And then again, rainbows, because rainbows, and the color, the palette layout. It's not for me. This palette layout is not for me. You have 3-4 different pan shapes. You have 5 colors all compacted into one stripe. How can you pick up those colors individually? Even from just a practical standpoint, this is not calling to me, you know? I don't know, maybe it's a very good product. Maybe they're donating a lot, but they don't disclose that. Maybe they're doing loads of work with LGBT folk, but I don't know. Hodmestom did a great rant on that a few days ago, so I would recommend you checking it out. They had opinions, and I was kind of like, I understand, I'm with you. Then you have LHcosmetics. introducing the Gloil Plus, and I was kind of, oh, a lip oil and gloss hybrid from LHcosmetics, interesting. And then later on I read it's a plumping and pH reactive formula. I'm sad. I don't like plumping products. Most of them, even if it's a minty feeling, I don't like that, and it catches on my throat every single time. I don't like that. And then pH adjusting, it means it's going to go that pink. So LHcosmetics has disappointed me. It's not, I've been waiting to buy something from LHcosmetics. I really am curious about the brand. Still not today. And then House Labs came out with the Color Fuse Glassy Blush Balms. This is not meant for me. This is not meant for me. Please tell me, why am I drooling over these swatches and wanting them on my face? Because I have oily skin. Teresa's Dead made a video where she tried a couple of these. These are meant to work on the cheeks and on the lips. She said on the lips they didn't last at all, but on the cheeks they were very long lasting. And I was kind of like, stop tempting me. I thought you were going to say it felt sticky and yucky and you didn't like it after 2 hours. Don't say that. I'm super tempted. Although this is glossy and this is a balm, I have a couple of products, even from danessamyricksbeauty, that have that kind of texture. I don't mind it. I just pull my hair back and it's fine. And some of these colors are so beautiful. The pomelo, the lilac, the rosette, the hibiscus. These look so beautiful on the models. So beautiful. This is one I'll put on my wish list. If it shows up at Portuguese Sephora, there's a chance it won't, ever. And then Kosas also came out with blushes. Listen, I have a Kosas pressed powder because I trust that I'll be able to use it up before it goes rancid, because Kosas is one of those clean beauty brands that some people buy stuff in store that is already rancid when they open them. So take from that what you will. I risked it with a powder, which is something that I think I'll go through quite quickly. I wouldn't risk it with a blusher. That being said, the colors look really beautiful. This marbled effect that is a bit hourglass, a bit Milani. You know, it's been around for a while, this baked kind of formula. And there are some colors, again, that look really beautiful, like Swoon for me and Euphoria. They look very appealing. But I wouldn't risk it unless it's a very small blush, like a travel size, and make it half the price. And then I'll try it. If you want to make clean beauty, make half the size and make it half the price, because it won't last. Then Fenty Skin came out with the Hydra Visor Hues Tinted Moisturizer Broad Spectrum Mineral SPF 30. A tinted SPF. Now I'm kind of like, again, a tinted SPF. You still need to use the correct amount. If you're only relying on this product, you need to use the correct amount on your face. And if it has a tint to it, you need to make it really sheer so that you can apply the correct amount and not feel like you should be blending it and thinning it out in certain areas and all of that. It has to be an even coat all over the face. So I'm kind of like, you know, my opinion on tinted moisturizers. They with SPF, they tend to lead people into thinking they don't need an SPF underneath, and they will just sheer a bit out on their faces and everything will be fine. That being said, the swatches seem quite sheer, and they come in several undertones, which is something that most tinted SPFs don't have into account, especially La Roche-Posay and Avène, those pharmacy brands, French pharmacy brands. Don't get me started. It's a shade of pink and a shade of orange, and that's all you get. Ridiculous. This seems thin enough. If it comes to Portuguese Sephora, I will try it. Now, you need to apply around 1 gram of product per application. This is $42. It's refillable. And I think it has about 50 mils, if I read it correctly. I think I read it somewhere that the bottle is 50 mils. 50 mils. Even using it once a day, which you shouldn't, you should reapply, but stay with me. 50 mils, using once a day, it will last you 50 days. Will you spend $42 every 50 days and have another sunscreen to reapply or something? I don't know. It seems very expensive. Very expensive. I don't get the thing with expensive SPFs because of this, because you need to use a lot of it. And some brands are, you know, racking up the price of something that should be seen as healthcare, because sunscreen is sun protection. Moving on, e.l.f. is coming for Too Faced and Refi's wig, and I'm here for it because, you know, duping, yes, but e.l.f. actually has really good formulas, and they give you their twist on each formula. They try to replicate something, but they don't make it just the same, or just create the same packaging, slap on something that is recognizable in the name, and sell it to you as, you know, water. They do have loads of care into formulation for most of the products. So I'm interested to see their iteration on the lamination gel, the brow lamination gel. Really curious, and it's $8. So yes, if it comes on to Beauty Bay, I will try it. Tarte, just milking the maracuja juicy thing, is coming out with a plumping lip oil, this time in a pom-pom kind of applicator. So still using the goddamn poofs, which are so unhygienic. They get saturated, they look really grubby. I know the preservative system supposedly is meant to deal with this, but it looks always so terrible. Just make it like this. Just a very simple applicator like this. I don't understand. The shades look beautiful. The cream shades, the shimmery ones, are not for me. I don't like this kind of finish, but the creamy shades look really beautiful. But again, they don't have a version that is not plumping, so I can't try it. Sol de Janeiro is coming out with three scents, a limited edition scents for summer. It's Carioca Crush, Beijos de Sol, and Summer é Amor. Nice! Juicy Pear, Pink Violet, White Cedarwood, Peach Skin, Coconut Milk, Frangipani Petals, Orange Flower, Creamy Almond, Sun-Kissed Woods. I usually like, or at least respect, Sol de Janeiro's scents, so I wouldn't be surprised if it were very nice. They seem a bit too flowery for my liking, and a bit too fruity for my liking, but who knows? I could be surprised. Then the Inky List is coming out with their tinted tripeptide plumping lip balm. I have the clear one. I don't like it. It tastes so bad, and it's a very thin formula that disappears from your lips almost immediately. So it's kind of like, what's the point? If you're meant to reapply it only 3 times a day or whatever, it should stay on your lips for a good while, right? If they haven't changed the texture, but above everything, the taste, the flavor, I don't think I would advise you to get this, although it's a very affordable peptide lip balm. Maybe you like the flavor, who am I to know? And I don't know, I didn't notice any difference, but I couldn't use it with the needed frequency because I couldn't stand the taste. So I tried it for 3 days and then I gave up. So take from that what you will. It has 3 very nice colors though. Again, Fenty, the Soft Lit Naturally Luminous Foundation. It looks so nice. And it says it's hydrating and luminous, but it's waterproof and it reduces shine. And then it's medium dewy coverage with golden hour glow in a bottle. Brightens and improves the look of skin tone immediately and over time while resisting sweat, humidity and transfer in 50 shades as usual. This does not make sense, but I want to try it. because I've seen people, again, with dry skin types trying it and really liking it. It looks super beautiful on camera, at least on those people. So I'm curious. Again, I tried to buy it online, but I couldn't understand the shade range, and I know that it's a bit different from the other products from them, so I have to go in store and do a swatch out party. Some of these colors seem like they could fit me, but they're so saturated. The light medium row looks pink and peach and then yellow and then almost green. I am olive undertone, but I'm not this green, so I have to try it in store. I don't understand it. NYX is coming out with the buttermilk blushes. When I went to London, I went straight to the drugstore to NYX stand to see if they had the bronzers. They weren't there. Sad, because I don't know if I'll ever see them in person. And now NYX is coming out with the buttermilk blushes. From what I've seen, it's a very highly pigmented formula, but it blends really well. So, and the shade range from these blushes is beautiful, I have to say. So much variety. I like that. Then, just before this recent launch, lhcosmetics came out with the Mellow Grove collection. And I haven't been buying palettes. I bought, I think, one this year. I've been a good girl. But this one really tempted me because although it does have greens, there is only one green I wouldn't wear because Lisa Eldridge recently did a mint green eye. And I was kind of like, oh, I could wear that. I felt like, well, now I'm open to mint greens. So the other colors on this palette look absolutely stunning, but then I don't mind the minty greens. The only color I wouldn't wear is this more emeraldy green. It's not my cup of tea at all. But I mean, these shimmers look beautiful. These pinky cool tones. They're cool tones, but they're pinky neutrals, I'd say. Look beautiful. And then they go into burgundy territory. These are amazing. I'm going to talk about the new collection, but this I have to give a shout out. I was very tempted. They also came out with a color switch for your brushes and some mascaras, colored mascaras, but I don't use that. Now, this is mentioning a trend, which is bronzing drops. e.l.f. came out with them, but other brands had already came out with their versions. And I think it's an interesting trend because it's something I don't see fitting on my routine. So it's really weird for me to see kind of like, what would I do with this? Unless I would be using the same foundation summer and winter and I could adjust with some bronzing drops, I could adjust the color, but I use different formulas for winter and summertime because I'm oilier in the summertime and all of that. So that doesn't make sense. If I'm bronzed my body maybe and try to match with some bronzing drops, but then you have to have the correct undertone to match your body, right? And most of these are very metallic looking. I don't know, these don't fit my routine, but I've seen so many people excited about them. Are you gonna get some? I don't know. Amy Loves Makeup did a collab with adeptcosmetics. Again, beautiful color selection. It's not for me, it's very cool tone, but I love the pinks. And she also has a quad with 2 blushes and 2 highlighters. It looks absolutely stunning. Again, it's not for me. And Adept is quite expensive. All the indie brands have been marking up their products a lot. So the only place where you can find most indie brands here in Europe is Monolith. And suddenly there's a huge spike in the prices. And it feels very sad that we can't take advantage of, you know, of their products that often. But anyway, I wanted to try some more indie brands this year, some indie formulas. And I've been looking at the prices and saying, unless the color story is absolutely perfect for me, I'm not going to dish out 60, 70, 80 euros for a palette. Although I absolutely acknowledge for them, it's more justified because they have to work with smaller batches and that inflates production costs. So it makes sense, but I can't afford it. Then Makeup by Mario came out with their Soft Sculpt Multi-Use Bronzing and Shaping Serum, which I hear is a self-setting version of the balm, which I always coveted in store, but I was really afraid because it felt so greasy. And I could imagine my fringe, which is already a very oily hair, my fringe sticking to it. I was so afraid it would just melt off of my face. So I never tried it and I never risked it, but this I'm willing to risk. Oh, and by the way, this packaging is not, I think you might have known by this point, this packaging is not innovative. The first time we really saw it was Pure. Pure had this packaging where you have the doe foot applicator and a pump. It's a really nice packaging. It should be used by more brands for more products, especially foundations. Then Clionadh came out with their Fruit Salad Reblended. A few years ago, they had a fruit salad collection, I think with eyeshadows and stuff, and now they're coming out with colorful highlighters and matching nail polishes. This looks so beautiful. Clionadh is such a good multi-chrome brand, and these look so fun. I don't think I'll buy any of these, but it just caught my eye, you know? Dior, the summer collection, you know, that pink lilac collection is calling my name. The blusher and the gloss are calling my name. I'll probably not buy them. I've been not buying the Dior blush, the pinky one, the original one, for many years now and wanting it and never getting to buy it. So I think I'm safe, but it still looks so delicious. NARS also, I think they reformulated their blushes, but I was just laughing out loud when I saw this because if you go to a Portuguese Sephora, you have Orgasm, maybe Deep Throat or something like that, and that's it. Those are the NARS blushes that people from Portugal get to know in person. So seeing all of these colors was just so funny to me because it's just so out of my reality, you know? And yeah, they have some really beautiful colors. Some of these nudes look really interesting, but I'd have to see them in person. And yeah, NARS is very expensive. You can find very good blushes for less than this, but I'm still curious because some of the colors are really unique, and that's something that NARS does really well. Then this one, I was kind of like, are we coming back to this? Do we need to do one of those videos saying, listen kids, us millennials and Gen Xers have tried this and this doesn't work. It's like the low-rise jeans. It's not a good idea. Which are the pearly... this is from Guerlain. It's the Meteorite Illuminating Highlighter Powder Pearls. And we've used this. And we've all agreed this is clunky and stupid. You never get the same color distribution because the pearls move around. You don't have even color dispersion. And then when you swirl your brush on these pearls, they will get stuck in your brush. And then when you lift your brush, it will fall down and they will crumble. That's what's happening. That's what's going to happen. And I've seen this with Guerlain, and I don't remember the brand. There's another brand doing this. Stop it. Just stop it. This doesn't work. The packaging is gorgeous. Make a loose powder for this. Don't do this. This doesn't work. Charlotte Tilbury came out with 6 different fragrances. Nice. It's a new thing for her brand. Cool. And that should be the end of it. Now let's know what they smell of. And that would be it, right? But no. First of all, the person in charge of Charlotte Tilbury social media, what is this? Charlotte Tilbury hits me as one of those brands that they are trying so hard to look, you know, elegant and classy, but they always miss the mark, and they always are so, for a lack of a better word, gaudy. The person doing this brand's social media writes in all caps all the time, like, you know, an old boomer. Why? And then they can't use punctuation correctly. It says, the future of fragrance, Charlotte's new. Fragrance collection of emotions. There's why? This is the first thing. The second thing is they list this 6 invisible superpowers for everyone, everywhere. World-renowned perfumers. Nice. Cutting-edge technology. Nice. Science. Okay. 40 years of research. Cool. Theory of color. Numerologists. I kid you not. I kid you not. They used science, cutting-edge technology, and numerologists on the same list as if they had remotely the same weight and relevance in one's lives. What is this? Then you have the fragrances, the actual fragrances. And again, I kid you not. You go to each fragrance post and one of them says, Joyphoria. I don't know, 96% of people wearing this perfume said they felt more joy. Calm Bliss. 96% of the people wearing this perfume said they felt more calm. And then I went to more sex. They didn't do it. I would buy the freaking perfume if they did it, but they didn't do it. Missed the mark. They should have said 98% of the people wearing this perfume felt they were having more sex. But no, people felt more whatever, something more sexy or something. It's not the same. It's not the same, Charlotte, darling.
But we have this one random anonymous quote stating this. Oh, Charlotte. Oh, Charlotte.
But then at the same time, Orebella came out, and it's the same kind of concept where, you know, they talk about, what was it? Aura enhancing scents. Again, one goes to the numerologist, the other one goes to the aura reader, and we are all fine. We are all fine with these rich people. But the one from Orebella feels like it's a bit more interesting in terms of how they approach the formula, because you have a top layer, it's a biphase perfume. You have the top layer with the fragrance and the base layer with nourishing or elixir, base hydrating snow, mushroom and moisturizing 5 oil blend. So it's a dual phase product with a fragrance suspended on an oil, and then you shake them and you spray it on. So it's very interesting. It may be a bit, I don't know how if people who usually spray on their clothes, that may stain the clothes. But if you spray it on your body, maybe it feels nice.
Although, at the end of the day, isn't it just a fragranced body oil in a mister? I don't know.
But everything in the Orebella looks a bit less gaudy, although it's still woo-woo and frou-frou and Gwyneth Paltrow approved. Do you know what I mean? But at least it looks nice. The actual packaging is nice. Listen, I got a couple of samples of these perfumes, then the Charlotte Tilbury ones when I went to the store, and they're fine. The calming one smells like lavender. It's nothing to write home about. For realsies.
Listen, I'm not dissing on the scents themselves. I'm just saying the king is naked with all this forced overhyping of such a straightforward product, with all this woo-woo shenanigans and the caps lock and the bad punctuation. You know what I mean?
Next up, more recently, Glamlite came out with a Fresh Prince collab. Problematic actor aside, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you know, part of so much nostalgia, was a great grab. And, you know, the palette has, you know, the perfect color story for this kind of thing. The license plate shaped highlighter trio, great idea. And they have 3, I think they're kind of shade shifting shades. And then the perfect thing for me is the setting spray that looks like, you know, a graffiti kind of spray paint. Great idea. You also have a couple of lip glosses that come in a microphone shape, and then you have false lashes that come in a cassette. in a cassette shaped box that I heard somebody call it a boom box, and I was kind of like, oh my word, the pain of age. Oh, poor darlings. But yeah, I think this is a really interesting collab, a great IP. It was done quite well. The very bright colors are not for everybody, but they hit the nostalgia feels really nicely, and it's not extremely expensive. This is Glamlite, which is out of the, you know, indie brands, a bit more affordable. Then this, I think it was this week, Clinique came out with the announcement that they're coming out with a lip oil that looks like them black honey color. Yay, I guess. Please stop relying on black honey and come to the 21st century with your products, Clinique, especially of your foundation shade range. But yay, I like black honey, don't get me wrong, but it's not as new right now. There are many brands doing similar colors. Then I laughed out loud with this one. Shiseido has launched a new foundation. It's called the Tanning Compact SPF 10. And it's a new version of the Tanning Compact Foundation SPF 6. 10 and 6. We are talking about SPF 10 and SPF 6 in 2024. Then, according to Shiseido, it allows for a golden tan and creates a beautiful, natural and flawless finish. Of course it allows a golden tan because it's only SPF 10.
I can hear you wondering, but can't we just use it as a normal foundation? Wait for it.
It has 3 colors. Again, 2024. Pat McGrath is coming out with lip crayons. It sounds nice. Again, Dramatique Mega Lip Pencil. They look nice. It sounds nice. I like the NARS ones. They've been around for a while, and I really like the NARS formula. They have interesting colors. I think another brand, Oilier was coming out with the same thing a week prior. I don't know. I'd have to see it in person. Again, Pat McGrath is so hit or miss. Merit came with another color for their signature lip, the creamy, more glowy lipsticks, the satin finish ones. The color is ginger. It looks really nice. It's a bit too peachy maybe for me. I don't know. I can't get Merit here in Portugal. I only mention it because when I got Merit lipsticks, I fell in love. So if you can get them, just get them. Paula's Choice, on the other hand, is coming out with a 5% vitamin C sheer facial moisturizer SPF 50. This is how you do SPF. You do an SPF that has skincare in it, and it's your one step for the morning. I don't know how heavy this is on the skin, if it's friendly to, they say it's for normal dry combination and oily skin, so for everybody, but I don't know how lightweight on the skin it is. I'm really curious about this one. Again, $45. $45. And you see models with darker skin tone trying it out, so it means it has no flashback. I can only guess they have proper organic filters, which is nice. It says wait 1 to 2 minutes before applying makeup. Hey, some sunscreens take about 10. A few more things spotted in stores. Elf is coming out with lip glosses with SPF in them, which is a really good thing to reapply throughout the day and have some protection. Your lips are something that really gets burnt easily and we don't notice until it's too late. I hope they can deal with the flavoring, because usually SPF on lipstick doesn't taste good. And then Nabla, I have to mention this. They came out with blushes, and the blushes look really nice. The close-up blurring powder blushes. Everybody's coming out with blushes. The shade range is nice. Enigma and Satisfaction look beautiful to me. And they seem to be blurring, which is nice. But then I looked into it, and they have... I don't know if this is very recent, but they have lipsticks, the Beyond Blurry lipsticks, I guess. My word, these look amazing. I haven't seen anyone trying them, as far as I remember. And Dea is a gorgeous color. Celeste, Saint. These are beautiful. Nabla is an Italian brand, and It's not that expensive and you can find it on sale on several websites, so it's a good one to try. And I just wanted to mention it because I don't see many people mentioning Nabla. Now, the big launch I may dare of this half of the year is the collab from lhcosmetics with Avatar: The Last Airbender. This collection is kind of like everybody else. Sit down, take notes. This is how you do an IP collab. This is absolutely stunning. I've seen the swatches. I've seen people, influencers who got it on PR, using the products. The palettes, the color curations are gorgeous. The eyeliner duos, such intelligent work. There's 3 lipstick shades. That's the only thing where I think they could have given a bit more variety, at least giving you an orangey red and the blue red, and then a deep brownie red, for instance. They all look very similar from the images that I've seen. They are all, you know, that beautiful ornamental imprint. They're absolutely stunning. The cabbage guy got a sponge. Appa got a beautiful little makeup pouch. It's just, everything is so well done. The packaging is gorgeous. The outer packaging is gorgeous, but then the inner packaging, Pat McGrath and your stickers, listen up. This is how you do it. You just curate the colors and you understand the stories behind the names you're giving to the colors. Everything is so well done. And if you watch the launch video from Lethal on YouTube, you can see they know what they're talking about. And that's so sweet. I love these soccer gel multi-chromes. And I want the cabbage sponge, and I think the cabbage sponge will be the first thing to sell out. And they have the names of the avatars on each element palette. It's so good. It's so good. It's such attention to detail. If you like the IP, you'll have a collectible. If you do not like the IP, you have very high quality, beautifully curated color stories. This is how you do it. It fits all purposes. It's beautiful. Hats down to lhcosmetics. And they're a European brand, so less shipping for us. Yay! This is the last announcement that I want to talk about on this video. I hope you're all well. I hope I have entertained you. Leave your opinions on products down below. We all have different opinions, and that's fine. It's just makeup. And as usual, if you enjoy this, leave me a thumbs up, interact with me in the comments, subscribe if you haven't already and you want to see more from me. And as always, thank you for spending your time on me, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.